Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cerisa. If you're new here, welcome. We'd love to have you stick around and be part of our friends and family group. So make sure that you subscribe and hit the notification button so that you know every time I upload a video, which is approximately once a week. Today we are talking about glamping, not to be confused with camping. So in particular, beauty with glamping and a routine that you need to have. But what I did realize is that you have to pack strategically, especially if the trip that you're going on is in a populated area and you will be going out in public a lot, taking pictures and going out to nicer restaurants. So I found 5 things that quickly became my go-to while I was on this trip. There were also 4 things in particular that I really missed and should have packed or taken with me. And then I had one, what I would call a big fail. I thought it would help me out a lot, and it turned out to cause a lot more problems than I realized it would. And then I have one request of you. I'll talk about it later on in the video, but I'm going to need your help. I have an item that I'm going to need to purchase, but I'm not quite sure where to start. So as you watch the video and we discuss it, please in the comments below, let me know what you have used when you've gone on trips like this and what product I should be looking into and hopefully purchasing. So with that being said, let's get started. I'm going to start with my 5 items that I fell in love with. All right, no surprise to some of you, but Pacifica makes a color quench lip tint. They've come out with approximately 5 or 6 colors of this. They were about $5 each, and they quickly became my go-to for any lip look that I wanted, but they also double as my chapstick and my, what I would call a lip mask when I go to bed. They do have a little bit of pigment. I particularly have this one. It is a really light shade. It is called Vanilla Hibiscus, and it does have a vanilla scent. They're really lovely scents is what I did notice. They go on really smooth. They don't cake up. They stay moist all the time. I realize though I'm a little bit addicted and I put it on way more than I really have to. These are very long lasting, and that's why I started using it as a little bit of a lip mask. I put it on before I go to bed, and it really moisturizes my lips through the night as well. So enough said on that. I think you can purchase these at Target. I got mine at Ulta for $5, and they have lots of colors. I'll be purchasing more. That is going to be in my pocket at all times though. My next item is Trader Joe's, of all places, my Rose Water Facial Toner. I can't live without this stuff. Ever since I discovered it about a year ago, I have at least 2 backups at all times in my drawer and one with me. I don't always put it in my purse because it is a little bit of a larger bottle, but I always have it really close at hand, and I for sure packed it whenever I went on my trip. It's a toner, but it actually hydrates and refreshes, it says, and it's very accurate. I can put this on. I can use it as a makeup setting spray, but it's a mild one, so it's not going to work like your all-nighter or your MAC Fix Plus, but it does work as a mild setting spray. It is moisturizing because of the rose water in it. I have very dry skin, so I need something like this all the time. I spray this on right after I get out of the shower or right after I wash my face. If I really needed a little bit of extra, I could spray it onto a cotton pad and use it as a true like wipe down toner. It can be used on your body as a refresher, so I was spraying it after we went on a hike. There's just so many reasons to have a bottle of this, and for $3.99 at Trader Joe's, you can't go wrong. The next item, and let's talk refreshing again. I fell in love with something, if that's possible. LaVanilla Labs is what they call a clean beauty deodorant. And I discovered this a couple of years ago in the larger size. And then I started using Native products this fall. I really love Native deodorant too. I always try to stick to a more natural deodorant product. But what I realized is where we live, or if you're traveling to a hotter climate, Native and some of the other natural deodorant products don't really cut it in the summertime, at least for me personally. So this LaVanilla Labs, this is the Sport Luxe. They make minis, and I purchased mine at Sephora. I love it. I travel with this now, again, all the time, and I keep it in my purse. So through the summer, especially after you get done with, yoga or your exercise class and you need a refresher, or even just in your purse throughout the day at work, how it is in the summertime. I love this mini. It is a little bit more on the pricey side for a mini of deodorant, but I will say they are very long lasting. I've had this for an extremely long time and I still have so much left. So worth the money to me. I enjoyed it and it saves a little bit of space for your travels. The next item that I really enjoyed and I'm so glad that I purchased was a Z palette. Now I purchased this obviously through Sephora. It's so new. It still has the plastic on it. I just kept it there for safety reasons. But a Z palette, for those of you who don't know, is basically an empty box with a magnetic strip on the bottom. And you can put your pieces of makeup inside the palette and basically create your own makeup palette. So this could be all eyeshadows if that's your thing, all blushes if that's your thing. But I wanted just a one and done go-to palette. So what I did was I have about, like 7 eyeshadows. And I have a couple of bronzers. I have a small highlighter. I have a pressed powder. And then I have a blush in here. Now, my disclaimer with these things is if you have beautiful palettes of any makeup and you're new to depotting things, please, I would really highly suggest that you don't depot your nice makeup. They were put in beautiful packaging for a reason. Leave it there, appreciate it for what it is. But I had some items I buy from a company called Sydney Grace that sells individuals. I also had gotten a couple of freebies. And then with these other little palettes that I already have in here, they're more of a paper palette. So I was able to just cut the tops off and then add the magnets onto the bottom. And then I guess my little janky idea here was with my Physicians Formula, I was able to pull it out, like the entire thing without depotting it and just break off the metal. And it fit in here. So I did have to do a little bit of measuring before I purchased this, but it really, really has become a game changer for me. I use this almost daily now, especially when I'm just doing quick makeup before I run out the door in the morning and then traveling. This was all I needed. I had this, I had my concealer and a couple of brushes, and that was it. I was good to go. Really love it. Love it. $15. Got mine at Sephora, but you can get yours online. I think Ulta has them as well. Last thing that became really a go-to for our whole family actually were wet brushes. If you have not jumped on this train, you need to get on now. Wet brushes work so well, especially for traveling, because water quality is not the same everywhere you go. If you're camping or glamping, you obviously know filtration systems, water hardness, chlorine if you're near a pool, beach water if you're at the beach, changes your hair dramatically, and you don't always have access to really good conditioner, and quite frankly sometimes it doesn't matter. So wet brushes get through just about anything. And the fun thing was too, they also make minis, so there's really no excuse to not pack one. This thing is so tiny, but it really does the job, and it's really fun for littles too, with their little hands. The kids love the little ones. So those were my 5 items that were go-tos for me staying in a camper. Now let's get to the things that I missed. First things first, reusable water bottle. I have them. There's no excuse. I don't know why I forgot them. Actually, I do. I thought, oh, I'm in a camper. There is running water and a sink and there's dishes there. I'll just use that and I'll be fine. Okay, well, A, you don't want to be filling up your tanks in a camper. B, you really don't want to be doing dishes all the time. And C, you're out and about so much that you need water with you. We even went on a hike while we were there. And so there we were with all these little plastic water bottles. I quickly realized that when there's more than one of you, those little water bottles get all over the place. You get confused on whose they are, so you end up with half-used water bottles all over. They're rolling around in your car. They just create so much unnecessary waste that I'm not going to forget these ever again, and I'm going to have one for each one of my family members next time I go, and I'm not going to try to rely on the dishes that may or may not be in a camper. Back to beauty again, is my eye cream. Now I'm currently using Caudalie This one is a particularly good eye cream, but that's really not the point here. The point here is I was trying to be minimalist and thought that I could get away with just using, you know, my one and done night cream and even my day creams. But the truth is they don't do the same thing around your eyes. And again, I have really dry skin. If you're the littlest bit dehydrated while you're on a trip, which often happens, the air quality is different. The air conditioning systems are different. My eyes suffered because I forgot to put this little tiny thing in. There's no excuse. This is so small. I had plenty of room for it. So my eye cream is going with me everywhere I go from now on. My next one is, here, let's see if I can get this up for you, was obviously the most important thing that I should have had and forgot, get this sucker on, was my Turbie twist. Okay, so these things usually come in about a 2-pack. This one is microfiber. They do make cotton for my friends who have an aversion to microfiber. I got this, I think at Christmas time. I had asked for one. I know they're super cheesy, but guess what? They work, and they're still being made and sold for a reason. This thing holds all of your hair in. It doubles as a shower cap. So I've used this when I wasn't washing my hair as well, you know, as long as you stay out of the water a little bit. It completely pulls the moisture out of your hair so that when you are ready to blow dry your hair, it cuts the drying time by like 2/3. They're also so lightweight that they don't give you that headache. And, you know, when you're in a camper, you're in a pretty tight space. The last thing you want to be doing is wrestling with a towel around you and another giant towel on your head. It's ridiculous. So this is the way to go. You need a Turbie twist. I don't care which one you get, just get one. They're amazing. Love it, love it. Plus, you know, look at this. It keeps my hair out of my way so that I could do my makeup and then I can blow dry my hair after the fact. Okay, all right, Turbie twist. My next one is something that I'm going to definitely need your help on. So, campers are great. They have a lot of mirrors because I know they're trying to trick your eye and give you the idea that, excuse me, you're in a bigger space than you really are. But the lighting leaves a little bit to be desired. And when you have aging eyes like mine, it gets a little bit hard to try to put your makeup on, to try to tweeze anything, and then also to even just look at your face if you need, you know, you have something in your eye or whatnot. So a mirror, I need some sort of a travel mirror. I don't know what I should be looking for. I would prefer it to have a light on it and to have a magnifying side. But if any of you have a mirror that you use to travel with, whether it be in a hotel or a camper, I really would love your opinion. If you want to put the link below in the comments for me, that would be great, because that is something I quickly realized that I need to purchase. And that is it on the mirror. So last item is my fail. I also need your help on this, friends. I do have a pretty big makeup removal, facial care routine that I do in the evenings. I love it. It helps relax me. That's just who I am, what I do. I don't care if it's extra. But I didn't want to take the entire thing with me while I was traveling. I do try to minimize that just for time and water usage sake and for space. So what I thought was going to be the cure-all for all of that was a pack of these wipes. Now, again, this is Pacifica. I love Pacifica, you know, chapstick, there we go. But this particular one, this was a coconut water facial towelette. I thought this would be perfect. I could take my makeup off. I could take my sunscreen off. I could take my eye makeup off with it. I could use it as my washcloth, and then I could just throw it away. But unfortunately, this did not work for me at all. It took some of my makeup off, but I was left feeling like I still had a layer of something. It just smudged my eye makeup everywhere. So then I was left scrambling, trying to figure out a way to get my eye makeup off and not look like a raccoon for the next 3 days straight. It just wasn't good. So if you have either some sort of cleansing wipe that truly works and you think is amazing, or you have another system that you use, I'd really prefer to not take my cleansing oils and my konjac sponge and my second cleanser and all of that good stuff. I'd really prefer to have something simple, but I don't know what. So this was my fail, and now I'm hoping that you can help me. Again, list it in the comments below. Let me know what you use when you're traveling to get everything off and clean and still feel like you can go to bed with a moisturized face. So that was that. I hope that this video was helpful to you. And oh, I have one more tip. Okay, pack yourself first. I forgot to say this earlier. One of the main things that I missed was my socks and my underwear. So being a mom and a wife and trying to travel with a pet for the first, and let me tell you right now, last time ever, I got so sidetracked with packing for everyone else and making sure that my house was clean and that my dog was clean, that it was about 5 minutes before we were supposed to leave, and I realized that I hadn't packed for myself at all. So I was left scrambling. I literally was running through the house, grabbing things, just chucking them in a bag, which is not how I like to pack. I'm one of those people that starts about 4 days before a trip normally. I have no idea what went wrong this time. But when I got home, my underwear and my socks were sitting on top of my dresser where I had just put them in a pile ready to pack. So moms, remember, just like the airplane, put your own mask on first and then put everybody else's on. Because what I ended up having to do was run around and look for a store, and then I quickly had to hit up the clearance section because I wasn't about to spend a ton of money while I was on a trip on necessities that I should have packed. So thankfully I did find some good deals. I was able to find some backup pieces, but I didn't want to have to waste my time doing that. And there I was at a store underwear shopping. It was pretty bad. So moms, pack yourself first. I hope that was a really good tip. I hope that that helps somebody. And that's it for today. I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next week.